Before we get into the full breakdown in just a second, I highly recommend you invest in an ankle strap that looks something like one of the two that I have listed here. It doesn't have to be these exact ones, but an ankle cuff that has a strap or a loop that goes underneath your foot is going to massively increase the productivity and the effectiveness of this exercise. You don't need two, you just need one. It's worth the investment, I promise. Can you do this with a regular cuff that just goes around your ankle? You can. But because we are initiating by pushing down, having that strap under your foot is going to be super helpful, and so I highly recommend it. I'll have links to these two in the description of this video, but anything that looks like these is going to work just fine. So start by bringing your cable up to about waist height. When in doubt, a little higher is better than a little bit lower. I like to have a plate on the ground for my non-working leg, so my working side doesn't hit the ground as I sweep down across the other leg. Strap in, and then spend a second getting really stable. You see me here holding on tight with both arms. That is super duper important. And then you want to initiate the movement by pressing down. I know this is called a glute kickback, but I also really like the name glute press down because it reinforces that this is initiated by a pushing down motion and then a sweeping back. And I want to pause myself here at the top just to show you how high I want you to bring your leg. I want you to bring your leg here where your femur, this part of your leg, is roughly parallel with the ground. That will reflect us getting a really nice glute stretch at the top here, which is what we're looking for. And I want to show you a freeze at the top of the range of motion because kicking your leg higher is not always better. This is the end of the range of motion for my glute. If I kick my leg any higher, which I'll show you in a second, it's going to come from too much movement at my pelvis or my lower back, and it's going to look a little jerky. It is right here where my glute is fully contracted, and for me, this is the end of the range of motion. This is what it would look like if I tried kicking my leg any higher. And yeah, my leg's getting higher, but my glutes aren't getting more stimulus. This is coming from articulation of my pelvis and my lower back. And so I can tell you as I'm doing this, it's hurting my lower back. And so if you feel it in your lower back, at least consider, am I kicking my leg up too high, and would I be better off stopping sooner? And when we look at this from the rear, I want you to focus on two things. The first is that my standing leg, not my working leg, is in line with the cable. And that is so that when I bring my working leg in and up, it comes up and across the midline of my body just a little bit to further lengthen the glute. And the second thing you're seeing by now is that my leg is not kicking directly back. It is kicking mostly back, but very slightly on an angle outward, which is the normal path of the glute max, the muscle that we're trying to target. And so I like to keep my standing leg in line with the cable so that the working side can come up and across the midline of my body ever so slightly, and that kicking back on a slight angle becomes a little bit more natural now that I'm in this sort of orientation.